I'm Terry Ewell, and I welcome you to this continuation of the series on beginning bassoon lessons. I started the series in 2008. This series is based upon an article I wrote in the year 2000. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get back to the series, but you've probably noticed I've been busy making a number of other videos. So let's get started. The art of flicking is one of the most difficult things for young bassoonists to do. Given the difficulty, I think it's important that students understand the reason for doing this. I always take the approach that Norman Hertzberg did when he introduced flicking to me, and I'm going to give this to you now. The purpose of the flick keys or speaker keys can be demonstrated on the pitch A3 above open F. You will notice that the start of each note is not very good. Sometimes there's a little extra noise that is part of that. However, if I hold down the A speaker key, the A flick key, that will be cleaned up. Every note is quite solid now and plays well. There are several other notes that can be improved with flicking. Although I introduced them in later lessons, let's go ahead and group them all together now. So we introduce B flat 3, B3, C4, and occasionally I flick D4. Please note that some of these student instruments do not have a D key. I mentioned here that I use a numbering system or octave designation for the pitches that is developed by the Acoustical Society of America. This system is now standard throughout America in many of the universities. Although some bassoonists, mainly in Europe, hold down the speaker or flick keys for the full duration of the note, I, like many other Americans, release the note once it starts. Thus, we give the word flicking for it because we depress and then release the key. The key must be down, however, at the start of the note. There are two situations that require flick keys. The first is when you articulate one of the notes that needs to be flicked. Rubank Lesson 6, number 3, provides an example of this. The second instance when we need the flick key is when we slur to one of those special notes with the interval of a third or more. The exercise in lesson 6, number 6 from Tune a Day, helps students to master the flicking technique during octave skips. So let's break this apart in two ways. First, let's practice the release of the whisper key on the beat, the flick of the octave on the beat, and the release on the beat. Let me demonstrate first just how this is done on the A octave. And this is an easy way to first learn how to do that. So let me play Rubank 6 for you now. may have noticed that I used the D key to flick for C4. Normally you use the C key, but I do find in certain occasions that using the D key raises the pitch of C4 slightly, and that's a flat note on my instrument. So I find that that helps to bring up the pitch. Now, let's do the exercise again, but this time I will flick more rapidly. The down slur portion of this composition is in many ways just as difficult, if not more difficult, than the upward slurs of an octave. The way to effectively down slur is to keep the embouchure, the lower jaw forward so the teeth are parallel. And as you slur down, you'll need to slightly move the jaw downward and perhaps even forward. Getting the hang of that is not easy. Also, I find for the last slur, from G3 to G2, it's helpful to open the first finger here and put it down. Open it all the way for G3, put it down for G2. Well, using the flick keys is really going to help the clarity of your notes. Careful work on this will greatly improve your bassoon playing.